In small towns across America, some events are whispered about, but never explained. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, residents report a winged humanoid with glowing red eyes appearing at night. Sightings happen for months, and then the town faces tragedy. A bridge collapses, and the Mothman is blamed by some, feared by all. Far west in Texas, glowing orbs drift across the desert near Marfa. Decades of study have failed to explain them. Drivers stop their cars, locals stare from porches, cameras capture lights dancing above the horizon, and yet no one knows their origin. Some say it's a natural phenomenon. Others refuse to speak, as if mentioning it draws the lights closer. And in Centralia, Pennsylvania, a mine fire burns beneath the town. People vanish. Accidents happen. Children wander into smoke-filled streets. Families leave in silence. The town survives, but the underground fire doesn't just burn coal, it consumes secrets. These are towns where the unexplained isn't hidden by nature, it's hidden by fear, loyalty, the unspoken agreement that some truths are too dangerous to share. People see what shouldn't exist, hear what shouldn't be heard, and decide, sometimes instinctively, to say nothing. Tonight, we're uncovering the small-town mysteries they refuse to talk about, the stories that survive in whispers, in shadows, in the things people see but never describe. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, 1966. A quiet river town where everyone knows their neighbors and life moves slowly along the Ohio River. But starting in November, something strange begins to disturb that routine. People report seeing a figure at night, hovering near bridges and tree lines, a humanoid shape with enormous wings, glowing red eyes, and a presence that sets hearts racing. The sightings aren't random, they happen in patterns. Two teenagers claim they saw it near an abandoned TNT factory, flapping its wings against the darkness. Drivers report seeing it dart across roadways at impossible speed. Families catch glimpses from porches or headlights, only for it to vanish before anyone can get closer. Local law enforcement begins taking notes, but officers admit they are perplexed. There are footprints sometimes, but they lead nowhere. Shadows appear in fields, then disappear without trace. News spreads fast. Newspapers print headlines, "Mothman haunts town," and "Winged creature sighted again." The town's population grows anxious. Skeptics call it hoaxes, pranksters, or mass hysteria, yet dozens of credible witnesses come forward, all consistent in description. People start locking doors, avoiding certain streets, and warning outsiders not to wander at night. What begins as curiosity turns into fear, and the town collectively holds its breath. Months of sightings culminate in whispers that something darker is coming. The Silver Bridge, which links Point Pleasant to Ohio, seems to shiver with foreboding. Locals say they feel tension in the air, like the Mothman is more than an apparition. And then, one cold December day, the unthinkable happens. On December 15, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapses during rush hour traffic. 46 people die instantly, dozens more injured. Survivors recount strange sensations, a feeling of being watched, shadows moving near the bridge moments before the collapse. Some tie the tragedy directly to the Mothman sightings, believing the creature was a harbinger, a warning, or a curse. Others dismiss it as coincidence, yet the timing chills anyone who lived through the events. Investigators examine the bridge and discover structural failures. Engineers explain the collapse scientifically, but locals cannot shake the connection. The stories continue. Sightings, photographs, and detailed witness accounts fueled books, documentaries, and myths. Point Pleasant becomes a town forever marked by its small-town anomaly. But the pattern is familiar, a town where something inexplicable occurs, and residents either fear speaking aloud or are too aware to ignore it. People see, they know, but they don't always explain. And small towns, time and again, keep secrets to themselves. Far west, in the Texas desert, strange lights have been appearing for decades. Locals in Marfa claim to see glowing orbs hover and drift across the horizon. Scientists study them, tourists photograph them. Explanations abound, but no one can say for certain what causes these mysterious lights. And just like in Point Pleasant, a town has its story, its strange events, and its silence. Next, we step into Marfa, Texas, where the desert refuses to reveal its secrets.
Marfa, Texas sits quietly on the Chihuahuan Desert Plain, a small town that has existed for over a century, surrounded by empty stretches of sand, scrub, and distant mountains. But here, the ordinary deserts hold something extraordinary. Since at least the 1950s, residents and travelers report seeing strange glowing orbs hovering above the horizon at night. Sometimes they rise and fall, drift in patterns that seem intelligent, or move faster than human eyes can track. Witnesses describe the lights as colors that shift from red to orange to white, pulsating as if alive. People in pickup trucks stop in the middle of roads, mesmerized, while locals watch silently from porches, cameras in hand. Scientists have tried to explain the phenomenon, atmospheric reflections, car headlights, mirages, but none account for the consistency, the patterns, or the decades of sightings. Stories grow. Some claim the lights appear after earthquakes or storms. Others swear they hovered near the same ridges year after year, almost like they are guarding the desert. Tourists flock to the area, snapping photos and videos, yet the lights remain elusive. They appear, then vanish, leaving nothing behind. Locals rarely speak in detail to outsiders, as if acknowledging the lights makes them more real and more dangerous. In Marfa, the strange lights are not just a curiosity. They are part of the town's identity, a shared secret between those who live here and those who respect the desert. Visitors often leave unnerved, questioning what they saw. And much like Point Pleasant decades earlier, the town has learned that some phenomena are not meant to be fully understood, only witnessed. The Marfa lights persist to this day. Investigators, journalists, and paranormal enthusiasts continue to study them, yet explanations remain speculative. Satellite images, night vision cameras, and scientific instruments fail to capture a definitive source. Pilots passing overhead sometimes report the same orbs, moving with no discernible engine or trajectory. Some locals believe the lights are spirits of the desert, guiding or warning travelers. Others insist they are a natural phenomenon beyond current science. Regardless of origin, one fact is undeniable. These lights make people talk, and also make them hesitant. Locals tell visitors not to wander alone at night. They caution against following the orbs too closely. Stories are shared quietly, in hushed tones, over meals or at bar counters. Some claim the lights follow vehicles, vanish when cameras approach, or even appear in multiple places at once. The desert, empty and silent by day, seems to awaken with purpose at night. But small towns have a pattern. Point Pleasant saw it with a winged figure. Marfa experiences it with floating orbs. And in Centralia, Pennsylvania, a town built on coal mines faces its own strange and deadly phenomena. Here, fire burns beneath the earth, residents vanish under mysterious circumstances, and everyday life is overshadowed by danger no one fully explains. Just like Marfa, Centralia's secrets are buried, unseen, and largely untold, waiting for those brave enough to notice them. Next, we descend into Centralia, Pennsylvania, a town where the ground itself hides its mysteries.
Centralia, Pennsylvania, a small town once bustling with coal miners, became the site of one of America's strangest and most enduring small-town mysteries. It all begins in 1962, when a landfill fire accidentally ignites an abandoned coal mine beneath the town. At first, the smoke is manageable, the smell unpleasant but ordinary. Yet soon, residents notice strange phenomena. Steam vents erupt from cracks in streets, and the ground becomes unstable. Entire blocks shift and crack. But it's not only the earth that unnerves the townspeople. Unexplained disappearances start to occur. Miners, children, and ordinary residents vanish near the smoking roads and fields above the mine. Cars are found abandoned, personal belongings left behind, as if someone simply vanished into thin air. Reports mention sudden gouts of smoke, strange heat rising from the cracks, and the feeling of being watched near fissures in the ground. Experts investigate. Geologists confirm the underground fire is spreading unpredictably, creating toxic gases, sudden sinkholes, and unstable terrain. Yet no scientific explanation can account for the timing and location of certain disappearances. Families speak of missing relatives last seen near smoke vents or walking along abandoned streets. Locals avoid certain areas entirely, knowing the mine beneath holds dangers that cannot be fully mapped or contained. As years pass, the town begins to empty. Roads are condemned, schools close, homes are abandoned. But some people remain, those unwilling or unable to leave. They whisper of shadows, of figures glimpsed near smoke plumes, and of neighbors who vanish quietly without discussion. The fire continues to burn decades later, deep beneath the ground. Streets in Centralia are cracked and steaming, mailboxes tilt in impossible angles, signs warn of toxic gases. Visitors entering the town notice an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional hiss of smoke or distant rumble of shifting earth. Eyewitnesses describe sudden disappearances and accidents that defy explanation.
Children playing near fissures vanish, only for shoes or toys to be found nearby. Adults exploring the abandoned mines sometimes never return. Investigators, both official and amateur, catalog the incidents, but patterns remain inconsistent. No single explanation accounts for every event. Centralia is not just a town on fire, it is a town frozen in unease. Residents, past and present, know to tread lightly, to avoid certain roads, and to keep stories to themselves. What little information leaks out to outsiders paints a town of smoke, silence, and unanswered questions. From Point Pleasant to Marfa to Centralia, one thing becomes clear. Small towns often hold phenomena that science cannot explain, events that witnesses remember in vivid detail, and secrets that locals keep close. Centralia's streets may be empty, its buildings crumbling, but the disappearances, the fear, and the mystery persist, reminders that some small-town stories refuse to die, and some secrets are never meant to be shared.
3 towns, 3 mysteries. A winged figure in West Virginia. Glowing orbs in the Texas desert. A town burning underground in Pennsylvania. People saw things they shouldn't have. People knew secrets they never spoke aloud. And generations later, the questions remain. If these stories made your spine tingle, don't just watch in silence. Join the hunt for truth. Share your thoughts, your experiences, or stories from your own town. And for more small-town mysteries, unsolved cases, and chilling accounts that locals refuse to talk about, subscribe to WhisprFrame, because some secrets aren't meant to be uncovered, but we're not afraid to look.